Hey everyone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of Watch What Now, the podcast where we talk the good, the bad, and everything else in between. If you see the eye roll from my wonderful co host, well, it's going to be an interesting episode today. Speaking of co hosts, I am Eric from Hey Internet Eric here. And as always, is my wonderful co host and someone I consider a good friend. She's an AVN Hall of Famer, a former radio show host, and if AI does ever take over the world, I'm okay because I have my own Farrah Connor with me, Miss Melissa Hill. Welcome, Melissa. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. I survived another movie,
Yeah.
barely.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. We'll get into it. We always say we show favoritism on this show, whether you give us a good review on social media or Apple Podcasts, or if you happen to be a good friend of one of ours. And well, I don't know this good friend personally. He was a good friend of yours, Melissa. Before we get into the film, how much of a friend is this person still after watching tonight's subject?
I hate him. I hate him. Uh, yeah, but I always say that in a loving way.
Yeah.
Anytime he sends stupidity my way, or anything that requires an eye roll or disgust, I just write back, I hate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be Shelley.
And we had a late night conversation about Mr. Shelley before when we decided we're doing Leprechaun, and because it was a couple weeks ago, it was the time when you had your visitors in your driveway because you live in a rural area.
That's right.
And it was just out of the blue. I was getting things like just literally one text, Frankenhooker, Dr. Giggles, this and that. So this being a request from Shelly, and then seeing those texts, I know Shelly's taste in film. So we'll leave it at that.
Honestly, I was shocked watching this movie because he's into like movies like the 300, where there's a lot of like slashing and killing and blood.
Okay.
And when I watched this, I was like, I think he only recommended it because he knew that it would like nauseate me. It was so stupid. Anyway, if that gives you an idea of what the rating I'm going to give at the end of the movie is.
And that's surprising because remember, people, if you are not new to our little show, is this is also the woman that gave me 4 to Troll 2. So we never really know, but I think she showed her cards tonight. Before we get into the show in general, because we don't want to rip a Band-Aid off yet. We forgot to announce your little trip to Chicago until the end of last episode, so let's get that out of the way. Coming up in what is this? The second weekend of April? You're going to be in Chicago for Exotica?
Yeah, I guess it's the second weekend. Don't you dare. Teddy's right here. He's already doing that little huff noise. Yes, it's April 10th, 11th, and 12th. So it's a Friday night,
mm-hmm.
a Saturday morning. And of course, he can't see the look that I'm giving him.
I know,
because he doesn't have eyes.
That's the best part.
I know. I always forget sometimes he doesn't have eyes. Stop! That he doesn't have eyes. So anyway, okay. So it's Friday night, ladies' night, and then there's Saturday morning, early Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday afternoon, which is the last day. Oh my God, really all of them now.
Well, you said they were, you said they were with you watching the film, so they just probably given their opinion as well. So it's not going to be much different.
Yes. Wow, I can't wait until someone moves in with me so that I don't have to deal with this.
You have a babysitter, yeah.
Hey, knock it off. There's nothing there. I don't. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm really excited about it. Actually, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be sharing a booth with Diana Loren. I mean, what's wrong with there's nothing bad about that. And I can't remember the booth number, but we're located right next to the VIP entrance.
Okay.
And we're going to be behind us is going to be a company called Tadpole.
Okay.
And so we're like our own little block. So we're going to be facing in one direction, the Jizz Talking booth,
Mm-hmm.
and the Tadpole booth will be facing the other direction. So it'll be nice, we won't be in the really congested area, because thank goodness, because I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be so many people. And, I'm just now a little small town Vermont girl now. It's been a long time since I've been in a large group of people. It's probably, assuming everyone can get there okay,
Mm-hmm.
going, considering what's happening right now at TSA, but assuming everyone that bought tickets and reserved hotel rooms can actually show up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to probably be more people that live in the entire county that I live in. The town I live in has 1,200 people.
That's it?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's more remote, there's towns that are like 500 people, but anyway, that's Panda now. Let's see who's right. Oh, okay. And yeah, and I did. Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
I did an interview on Friday
Mm-hmm.
with Jason Heath from Barefoot and Independent, where he does other films too, but he takes adult films and then edits them down to PG. So that is actually going to be uploaded today, if not already.
I just watched it. The premiere just happened. So
oh, okay.
Let's say that he took a 90-minute film of yours, and I think with somewhat of your interview spliced in there, the entire video was like 25 minutes. So he had about 5 minutes of you talking, and I think your film was, and I'm not gonna lie, I'd never seen that one. I was impressed because when people think adult films, they think low budget. There's not a lot of effort put into it. I was very impressed with you and, using weapons, because it's a Terminator 2 parody. That's why I did the whole Farrah Connor intro today. The special effects were pretty impressive for, the stigma that adult films has, you know what I mean? But back then there was a lot of effort put into not just having, the adult scenes, but actually making it in a fun and entertaining movie. And the 20 minutes I saw, I'm like, as a fan of Terminator 2, I'm like, the guy did his homework. I think it was Nick Kramer.
Yes.
And I was impressed that you brought up that he was in The People Under the Stairs, which is a horror film. So it was kind of interesting how it went full circle with your history, but then me loving action and horror. So it was a very fun video. I can't wait to see the whole interview with you guys. And you know what? It must be a thing. I don't feel as bad now with our tech problems, because you guys had a little tech snafu, and he did show up. He showed you on the telephone saying bye and stuff like that, because he forgot to hit the record button or something like that. But it was a very fun video that I think you should check out.
Okay, I'll have to check it out after we're done here. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
What is it? T2 People Under the Stairs. All bangers.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's roughly, it's between 25 and 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And God, and you remember when you're making a film, it's your life for that period of time, not just the days that you're filming it, but like leading up to it, and what do you call it, the pre-shoot, and then the post-shoot, pre-production and post-production. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And part of me wishes that I could go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Because I with a bit of an older type of vibe to it, because at the time I was 27 or 28, and I didn't know anything about life. At the time I thought I did.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. So anyway, Leprechaun.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna rip off the Band-Aid. We were gonna do this last week. Well, I'll put the picture up here. Thanks to Shelley, we are discussing, and it was around St. Patrick's Day. We were discussing 1993's Leprechaun. last week we were going to do it. Melissa was under the weather. And speaking under the weather, even though it's fucking 71 degrees out now, I was under a blizzard warning and lights flickering and stuff like that. So it was just God's way of telling the two of us, don't do it. Just tell Shelly no. But we went into it, and there's the review right there. 1993. I remember when this came out because it was a big deal because I was at the right age for it. You know what I mean? I think that's the problem. We're watching this film. You know, I don't know how Shelly is, you know, if he's, no disrespect, if he's just like a huge man-child and just wants to have fun, but there is no way anyone could take this movie serious. And I think they knew that and ran with it. But the problem is, if you watch it in our age range and you're watching it for like a review, you look at it a lot different. Initial thoughts before we get into the play-by-play, Melissa. What did you think going into it? Were you going into it like Troll 2? You're like, I'm going to go into it as a comedy. You did know Jennifer Aniston was in it, and your exact text to me was, this movie's giving me a headache. How quick did the headache come in to the film?
Well, you know, so because we were supposed to do the stream last week, I had actually started watching it last week. And then in the process of watching it is probably when you know what? Maybe that's why I had the headache last week. Because I was like, I'm not feeling so great, you know? And then, so then today I tried to, you know, go back to, because after I stopped watching it last week, I let it run. Mm-hmm. So it was on in the background while I was doing other stuff. So today when I had to sit back down and watch it again, I tried to pick up from the spot that I had left off at last week. And I think even before it was halfway through, I was like, I have a headache, you know, and I kept pushing pause just so I could see the timestamp, how much was left. And I was like, son of a bitch, I still have 40 minutes left of this piece of crap. No offense to Pap Master OST, who says the franchise is great. I'm sure the franchise is great. But I went into it with an open mind because I knew that this was before Jennifer Aniston was on Friends.
Correct.
So I didn't go into it assuming that she was going to be funny. Yeah. Or that there would be any humor at all. I mean, the little leprechaun thing gave me, he was like a cross between Oompa Loompa and, you know, which I find also scary. Oompa Loompas are kind of scary. So he was a cross between Oompa Loompa and the little monster from Trilogy.
Oh, God. The Zuni doll? Yeah.
And then even, you know, jumping ahead really quick, even the scene where he reaches his hand through the phone, I was like, son of a bitch, fucking hand. It just threw me back to when I was 4 or 3 or however old I was when that Karen Black movie came out, Trilogy of Horror. And so long answer to your short question. I went in with an open mind. I had no expectations. I kind of just thought this leprechaun is going to be like a scary Santa, which I've not seen any of those movies either.
Sure.
I kind of, because it's in the horror genre, I expected a little more killing. When you have to stop because I usually take notes the whole time without pausing the film. Sure. Lately, the past couple of films, I've been trying to pause and then write down a note or something because I don't know, just for whatever. Because I'm trying to learn your skills, trying to figure out how it is that you do it when you take notes. And I mean.
Well, in your defense, it's a big step down from the last episode. There's a big difference between The Cabin in the Woods in quality and Leprechaun. And I think maybe you didn't want to pause the movie to take note because you didn't want to have to push play again. You know what I mean? Just to be on the safe side.
That's probably
So,
really accurate. Yes.
all right. So the movie starts, and it does have this weird little creepy vibe. I'll give it that. We have, as Melissa wonderfully said, the little Oompa Loompa is walking down this gigantic stairwell. He's playing with his gold. He says a funny limerick, I guess. And then we cut to, I think it's South Dakota is where this takes place. And we meet Mr. O'Grady, and he's drunk off his ass, getting out of a limousine. And we meet his wife, and he's talking about how they're rich, and she knows he's just a drunken fool.
A drunk Irish fool.
Yeah, and he's stereotypical Irish. You know, he's drunk, he's drinking Irish whiskey, he's got the bad accent. I don't know if the actor himself was Irish or not, but it didn't seem authentic to me. But he's coming back from Ireland because it was his mother's funeral, and he has the urn, but inside the urn is filled with gold coins, and his wife just gives him that look that she always gives him every Saturday when he's drunk off his ass. He opens it up, and he says he got the gold coins from capturing a leprechaun in Ireland. And we cut to him going and doing his thing. His wife's going to make a pot of tea, you know, because it's Ireland. That's all they drink. And, you know, again, stereotypes. And we hear a creepy child's voice coming from, I believe, his suitcase. And the leprechaun gets out, and we just focus on his wee little legs.
That was the thing. You know, I'm sorry. His body and his legs with those shoes that he had on with the heels.
Yeah.
And, hey. And, yeah, I just, everything about him creeped me out. Yeah. You know, his legs, I'm talking about the character, not the actor portraying the leprechaun, because I'm sure that's how the leprechaun, you know, character is supposed to be. He's supposed to be creepy. Mm-hmm. But it was, whatever. So I was a little like, okay, so this guy pulls up in a limousine, and their house is literally in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. You know, and as a matter of fact, I wrote down that I think the house is one of the houses that they used in Little House on the Prairie. Because I recognize, remember, I watched this Little House on the Prairie on the regular. Mm-hmm. So there's this one house that they always use in the series, you know, that it's like this little white house with a white picket fence, and everything around it is brown and dusty and dirt, except for what's inside the white picket fence is this perfect patch of grass. So when I saw the house, I was like, hey, that's the house from Little House on the Prairie, you know. And when you look beyond the house, you see the trees and the dirt and the hills and everything. I'm like, I bet you it is. Hey, stop. Anyway, and so so I actually didn't start taking notes until the action started. Okay. Because Teddy, come on, please.
You're fine.
Stop it. Come here. We're not doing an hour of this. Come here. So I was kind of like, how did he capture the leprechaun? I guess we're supposed to, again, suspend our disbelief. Yeah. But I was like,
you really do have a hard time with that. Even going into a movie about a killer leprechaun, Miss Melissa Hill has a hard time suspending disbelief, believe it or not.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, and I was at my babysitter's house, and all the boys would be watching whatever cartoon, you know, because there was one TV. Everyone had to share the one TV. Mm-hmm. And this is back when kids would sit on the floor like this, you know, laying on their stomach or sitting cross-legged with their face like this, watching the TV. And they would always be like, no way. Yeah. No way. And at that time I was like, it's a cartoon. Yes way. You know, and so now when I watch movies like The Leprechaun, the whole time I'm going, no way. You know, who knew 50 years later I'd still be going, no way. All right. Teddy, come here. come here. He's of course standing in the middle of the giant room barking at me when like if I just had him right here, I could pet him and keep him calm. Mm-hmm. Teddy, please stop. Come here. Come here. I might have to step away for a second.
You're fine.
But stop. Sorry. So I was like, so the guy's like, I caught a leprechaun. He shows up in a limousine. The house is really small. How did he get the leprechaun in the crate? And how did he get the crate in the basement? And all this other stuff. But I'll be right back.
You go ahead and take care of the kid. That's fine. See, that's what, folks, that's what we have here on Watch What Now. You don't know what it's like when we're going to be live. We'll have barking dogs. You'll come in to listen to two people talk about the leprechaun, and instead it's a discussion on the Little House on the Prairie. You never know what to expect. And who was it that said, fuck it, we'll do it live? I don't remember. I think it was one guy from Fox News or something like that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? We appreciate you guys dealing with the kids. So it is what it is. But we get to, I'll remind Melissa when she gets back, we get to the part, the leprechaun with his wee little boots and his wee little legs that scared Melissa. He sneaks out of the suitcase and what is it? I have it written down. He taunts the wife, pushes her down the stairs. Thank you, John. Bill O'Reilly. I'll make sure to put that comment up on the screen when Melissa gets back. Kills the old lady, pushes her down the stairs, breaks her neck. And then Dan shows up, Dan O'Grady. He's back, and he's looking for his wife. He hears his wife's voice, and it is the leprechaun with a tea set using her voice. And we have this weird, one creepy scene. I'll give this movie one thing. There is that one scene before this movie becomes a fucking Looney Tunes bit where he's behind the old lady's dead body and he's moving her head like a ventriloquist puppet. I'll give it that. That's one creepy scene. I'll give it that. And then I just have, let's see, kills the old lady, taunts Dan with the dead body and voice, and then Dan starts shooting the leprechaun, happens to have a 4-leaf clover in his pocket, throws the leprechaun in a crate and nails it shut, puts the 4-leaf clover on top, and he's going to set the whole house on fire, which, he's already, I don't know what you're going to do, where else you're going to leave. I think the gold is still inside I know what it was. He hid the gold. But right before he sets everything on fire, that's when he has a stroke. And that's it. We cut to, what is it? 10 years later.
Well, wait a second. I have a note.
Okay, yeah, please.
I found it interesting that Mr. O'Grady was more worried about the gold than he was about his wife's demise. Wasn't she laying at the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe he was planning on doing that at the by the end of the night, anyways. And
I wrote on, turn on the lights for God's sake.
Yeah. And Pat put this as you were dealing with the kids. He said, this is better than any Leprechaun movie. So
thanks, Teddy.
So we thank him for that. So we cut to 10 years later, and we have Tori. I'm not big on Jennifer Aniston in general. Like, I don't hate her. I don't like her. She's just kind of there. I thought she was awful in this movie. She's just a spoiled brat from the city, and dad takes her out into the country. Her dad has bought the old Grady house, and it's just a good 5-10 minutes of her complaining that there's no TV, there's no cell service, there's this, there's that. The usual typical Valley girl thrown out in the middle of nowhere type of stuff.
Well, I wanted to call her Rachel because that's basically how, when she came on Friends, like her introduction into Friends, the first episode is her coming into town and complaining about everything because she was a spoiled rich girl.
Anyway. Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So, I was like, how many movies now is this where people are going to a house that no one's ever been to before, but it's just been purchased? Is this like the third time? Like the third movie.
It's just one of those tropes, we're gonna buy a house in the middle of nowhere, it makes you wonder, like when the dad bought the house, did the realtor say, oh well, the owner had a stroke about 10 years ago, his wife was found with a broken neck at the bottom of the stairs, but maybe that's why we'll cut you a good deal, type of thing. It's just one of those things, like my wife was asking when she was watching it. She's seen this movie a handful of times, with me watching it in the background. But it's 10 years later, and then that's where we meet the other characters, where Tori, that's the name of Jennifer Aniston's character, she bumps into Nathan, who is the lead painter. He's there with his brother, and they're simple-minded friend.
He's the hunk of the movie.
I wrote buff Kevin Bacon is what I wrote down for Nathan. He looks like a buff Kevin Bacon to me.
I honestly thought he looked a little bit like Jim Carrey. I have buff Jim Carrey.
I could see that. He had the Jim Carrey Cheshire Cat smile. I could see that. Yeah. So we meet Nathan. We meet his awful younger brother, Alex. That kid actor, he was big in the 90s, and he was one of those kid actors that I wanted to turn the TV off every time I saw him, because he's awful.
He reminded me of the kid that was in Poltergeist.
He had that typical boys 80s haircut. Yeah,
well, it was his teeth. I don't know. That's one thing I remember about the kid in Poltergeist, was that he had these teeth, because when they do the silhouette of the static TV.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's talking I remember watching Poltergeist was his teeth. Anyway.
Yeah. And then we have like I said, simple-minded Ozzy, played by Mark Holton, who was big in the 80s. He was in Teen Wolf, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, League of Their Own. He was a big character actor when I was growing up. And they're hired to paint the house, and that's all the rest of the movie is, for like 10, 15 goddamn minutes, is them painting the house, Tori trying to flirt with Nathan, Ozzy talking about rainbows, Alex being an annoying little shit. And then I didn't take any notes until I wrote, Ozzy gets paint dumped on him and has to go wash up in the bathroom, and he hears a voice coming down from the basement, and it's the Leprechaun doing a little child voice. Please let me out, that type of thing. And Ozzy falls for it. And you have to have that stereotypical camera shot of Ozzy brushing the 4-leaf clover off the crate onto the ground. Leprechaun punches through the crate, scares the shit out of Ozzy, eats a bug, and
then insanity ensues. That's
and that's what Melissa says. I'm never taking another request from Shelley again.
It kind of reminded me of Troll, the one with June Lockhart.
Oh yes, a little bit, because because that was in an apartment complex as well. Yeah, right.
And the troll was hiding in the basement there, and he was using kids' voices to communicate and play with toys. Mm-hmm. So that was. All right, so here's my notes.
Please.
Why would they paint a house that hasn't been cleaned up yet? That part bugged me. I was a painter's apprentice, and they're outside painting the house, and they hadn't even power washed it yet. It's just driving me nuts. I couldn't handle it.
I love it. In a movie about like last time, Cabin in the Woods, mythological creatures are killing everybody. You're wondering who built the factory. Now you're wondering who hired these bumpkins that can't even paint the fucking house properly, and it's a movie about a killer leprechaun. So
wait, was the name of their company 3 Dudes Who Paint?
Yeah, it's like 3 guys that paint, and it had like this bad sticker on the side of their truck. John says here, he says, I don't know what you two are complaining about. This sounds like a typical Tuesday night at my sister's house. Well, jeez. Wait till we get to the rest of the movie, John. We'll see how crazy your sister is. Okay. Ozzy frees the leprechaun. They come down. There's nothing in the basement. And then once everybody goes upstairs and they go back to, maybe they're getting ready to power wash the house, Melissa.
Right.
Ozzy and Alex get distracted by the rainbow.
But wait a second. Everyone's wearing 49er colors. Me, being from California and a fan of the 49ers, I could not take my eyes off of Alex's baseball cap. And then I noticed that Ozzy and Nathan. No, Ozzy and the dad. The dad, like, what happened to the dad? Like,
he disappears for like 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
He was only available for one day of filming or something. But anyway, so the dad character, the Alex character, and the Nathan character are all wearing red and gold, and I was like, "Go Niners!" But why are they painting the house blue and red? So I actually asked my telephone, because I'm not going to say her name because I don't want her to start talking at me. I actually asked my telephone, what was the big football rival between the 49ers, with the 49ers in 1993? I was expecting it to be, like Buffalo Bills or something. And it was like Dallas Cowboys. So I was like, there's got to be some sort of secret, like, football, NFL messaging going on in this movie, because all the colors were, well, besides the leprechaun and everything that revolved around the leprechaun, there was green, green and gold and red and whatever. But some of the people they're all wearing gold, and Jennifer Aniston's character is wearing all different colors, and then they're painting the house blue and red without power washing it first. It was just driving me nuts. Jeez. And then another observation: the laundry hanging on the laundry line drying. Like,
who's is
that the same laundry from last ago, or did these people show up that afternoon, dirty some laundry, wash it somehow, and hang it on the line?
Yeah, then I never noticed that. Was it somebody who was it just a hobo just walked by and he needed to wash his clothes and he left it or something like that? Because Jennifer Aniston, her dad, Tori, and her dad just showed up. Nathan and the other two just showed up. So is it Mrs. O'Grady's Sunday wash sitting out there for 10 years?
Right. I mean, but then every time they ran past the clothing line with the clothes on it, I take a look, because it's really quick. But like the boxer shorts, I think had clovers on them. So I was like, oh, I get it.
Jeez.
It's all leprechaun themed laundry. Anyway, so that was my note for that. And then what I say? Oh, yeah. And then the leprechaun pops out of the crate 10 years when the clover falls off.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they paint all over but not? Oh, another note about paint.
Uh-oh.
Why did they have paint all over their arms?
That is weird. It's like, I understand you wear a paint smock, you're going to get paint all over your chest, stuff like that. But it's like
they
Jennifer
didn't have
Aniston
any in their hair.
She had a little bit like on her nose, but she had like paint stripes. Like you literally took a thin paintbrush and she just kind of wiped it off on her arm. And you could tell they were strategically putting. It's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to save his daughter in Commando and he's putting on the camouflage makeup. You know what I mean?
I mean, I did a movie once where I was wearing paint, but it wasn't toxic paint. It was washable paint. And they literally took the paintbrushes and they splattered me like this. So it looked more natural, not like, oh, we're gonna take a brush, and it actually looked like pieces of tape. Like,
oh yeah, like the blue painter tape you put on the wall.
Yeah. If they, I don't know if they had it in back then, but K tape, whatever it's called, for athletes when they tape up, that's what it looked like. They had put like K tape on it, or whatever that tape is called.
Well, we had some really bad attempts at flirting with Nathan and Tori, so maybe that's just how they were trying to be flirty. Because remember, she tried to be sexy when she says, "Well, let me show you how a professional go gets a can of paint," and stuff like that. It's just.
I wrote a note about that. All of her pickup lines were so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. All right. So my notes are more observational. So you go ahead and talk about what's happening in the movie. I'll interject.
Okay. So Alex and Ozzy, they're distracted. They don't power wash the house. Melissa's infuriated because they're distracted by a rainbow, and they go follow it. And again, this is where Ozzy's probably in his 30s, and he's mentally. He's not all mentally there, smarts wise. I don't want to be disrespectful, you know what I mean? But he's not all there, and she's childlike. So he's going and chasing rainbows. Alice has to go chase after him. Tori continues. We go, let them go change let's go, let them go chase rainbows. Let's go paint a house. This is biodegradable paint. Like I guess she's a hippie too for some reason. They got to
Right.
throw that line in there. So they find this beat up old truck, and they find one gold coin. And Ozzy does the old 1930s method. We got to bite it to see if it's real, and he swallows it. So we know what's going to happen later on in the movie.
Right. Which I was surprised didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't poop it out.
Not yet. Yeah, but he got close to losing it. Alex finds the bag of gold coins, and he's kind of playing with Ozzy's simple-mindedness, saying like, now we can fix your brain and this and that, when he's just a punk kid. Because later on he says, well, I know they can't fix it, but he doesn't. So he was just going to steal the coins for himself. And
oh yeah, that's why you didn't like Alex. See, because I was busy pausing and taking notes. I didn't fully immerse myself into it. And I was like, what I said? Oh, well, here's what I wrote. I said, if Ozzy could find the gold at the end of the rainbow, why couldn't the leprechaun?
Well, he's stuck in a crate. He's stuck in a crate. This is a realistic movie,
Melissa.
That's true.
At this point, he was already let out. So why couldn't he,
why?
it?
It's because the next scene, he's too busy hiding under the painter's truck, caressing Tori's leg.
Yeah.
So, and of course, see that again. I mean, you're learning kind of like the trope. Like sometimes the lead actresses, the women, aren't the brightest in these movies. She's already doing a bad flirty job with Nathan. He disappears. Why would he then go? They already had a paint fight, obviously. You know what I mean? Why would he then go hide under his pickup truck to caress her leg? Because she's, oh, Nathan, what are you doing? Type of thing.
Right. I mean, they literally just met. And and again, like this all took place in one day. And it made me think, well, shit, at what time did they start painting?
Yeah.
Or no, wait a second. They arrived. Arrived that day, Tori's dad, and now there's painters, and now insanity is ensuing all in one day. It was just that was a lot to deal with for me. and then I, of course, I wrote, it never crossed their mind to return the gold to the mad leprechaun instead of hiding it. But I guess at this point I didn't really think that Ozzy was simple-minded. I just thought he was, goofy, kind of like was that show that took place in San Francisco with the two twins?
Oh, Full House.
Full House. Yeah, like I thought he was like an uncle, not Danny.
Joey.
Well, whatever.
Joey, the one who did Dave Coulier. The one who did all the voices.
Yes. I kind of was comparing the Ozzy character to that character. I didn't really think that he was, missing.
Simple. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was, what do you call it? There was a, and I also started kind of comparing this to the Wizard of Oz. Like,
it's the Munchkin thing. That's what it is.
Someone needs a brain.
Oh my God.
Someone needs a brain, and I don't know that it just for whatever. Yeah, I was, the scarecrow. Wait, there was courage, the brain. Oh wait, the brain.
Heart.
Well, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
The heart. Oh, the Tin Man wanted the heart. The scarecrow needed the courage. Anyway, my comparison obviously doesn't hold up. So.
Oh, you know what? As much as you hated this movie, I'm glad you watched it because I was not expecting to have this type of conversation. So Tori thinks that Nathan, for some dumbass reason, got under his truck and is caressing her leg. He shows up behind her. She gets scared. She gets clawed. And then there's this whole, I thought that was you under the truck caressing my leg. Oh, and you let me? That whole awful flirty, and the dad gets mad. And he's like, oh, it was just an animal. She's like, no, Dad, I know what it's like when a man's caressing my leg. And he just gives that look. Right. I chuckled there as a dad. I chuckled there. But then, oh, look, it ran out into the field. Let's go look for it. Maybe it's hurt. What kind of dumbass sticks his hand into a tree trunk to get something that has just clawed his daughter?
Right, exactly. I was like, get a flashlight first.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're barking at something else. I fed them. I opened the door. It's freezing outside, but I opened the door so they could come and go. And they're barking at a leprechaun out there, probably.
So I wrote down, Dad gets bit. They got to take him to the hospital.
Not just any bite. That was like a pretty gruesome.
He took like a chunk. It looked like a chunk out of his hand.
Yeah, you're right.
And all right, you already think this movie's kind of dumb, Melissa.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts when the next thing we see is when they're taking Dad to the hospital, we see the little leprechaun go into the barn, and his way to the hospital is to ride a fucking tricycle, and they sped up the speed of the film.
I wrote leprechaun on tricycle SMH, shaking my head.
And oh Lord, you have the whole scene where they drop Dad off, and it's going to be a while. We're going to go get a bite to eat at the diner. They sent the boys off to go buy comic books or something.
Right?
And
how did they know it was going to be a while? They hadn't even taken him in yet, or had they?
I think the guy who wrote the script didn't even think about that either.
All we know is that I guess Dad wasn't available for filming anymore, so they had to make up something.
Yeah, he's gone. He's not even mentioned for the rest of the movie.
No, they're like, they're going to keep him from observation. I feel like they basically, like, that actor walked off the movie.
Yeah. He's like, okay, you're only paying me. You're paying me scale to be in this piece of shit. I'm done. You got your 1 day of work from me.
Right, exactly.
When he saw the leprechaun on the tricycle, that's when he decided, I'm done.
Yeah, when I saw that scene, I was just speechless.
And then because we have the whole thing, like I said, they're dropping Dad off at the hospital. Alex and Ozzy go to like an antique store to get the coin, authenticated, and we still have the little shadow of the leprechaun on the outside of the antique. He's on the trikey. He even rings the little bell, and Jesus Christ.
I was like, okay. I wrote Kid and Dum Dum, coin to have it researched and appraised. And this is another thing. I was like, if the leprechaun can find where the people are going, why can't he find the coins? Like, he's one step ahead of them already. Like, that part baffled me. But, again, this isn't real life. This is a movie. Okay, fine.
So we have this whole scene, and the shop owner locks up the coin, puts it in his safe. And that's when he's about to put this coin in the safe. And that's when the logo, the leprechaun comes out, bites him on the leg. And
first the tricycle mysteriously wheels itself across the room. And
see, there's another thing. Like here, because again, you can't personally suspend disbelief. So you're now saying if he can't find the gold, if the motherfucker has magic, why doesn't he just make the gold appear? You know what I mean? That's one thing you're thinking about, because I didn't even think about that now until the tricycle, it just magically walks in or rolls into the shop owner's shop. So all this is pretty much for nothing. All he had to do was like zap his fingers and he'd have his gold coins.
Right, because it's not like, because the shop was actually, the guy was actually down the stairs. Mm-hmm. So the tricycle made it from upstairs, and if the leprechaun didn't do it, then he had to snap his fingers and make it happen. Even though he kept saying, and I felt like the plot, like the way that the dialogue happened in this movie is sort of like an early version of what the movie industry is discussing doing now, where they occasionally repeat what's happening so that people don't, people with like short attention span,
they know what's going on.
What the plot of the movie is, so he kept repeating, I don't have all my powers because I don't have my coins,
Yeah.
So, but yet, whatever.
Yeah. he busts out of the safe, bites the shop owner on the leg, chastises him, calls him like this made me think of like, like when Teddy's being bad, you say, bad dog or something like that. He's calling him a bad shop owner, says it multiple times. And then this is where he says, I just want to play. Will you play with me? Melissa, what are you thinking?
Want to play a game? That's what kept going through my mind.
So you just saw this little bastard on a tricycle. You're getting into the horror genre. You know that a lot of it is blood and guts, slashers, knives, axes, stuff like that. What's going through your head when this asshole decides to kill the guy with a pogo stick?
I hated him. Although, I had a pogo stick as a kid. And, I was only allowed to play in like the vicinity of my front yard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried for years to get that pogo stick. I would stand up on the stairs, which I had like two stairs that lead to the door from the walkway. And so I would stand on the stairs and then I would jump onto the pogo stick because the pogo stick was like way up here for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would pogo my way down the not realizing that there was a slight incline on and I would always fall off and I would skin my shins. I hated that pogo stick. I mean, now I wish I had it because I'm sure I could probably get it right, but
yeah. So he kills him by pogoing on his chest.
I was very upset because this little creature was ruining all toys and fun music for me. Because they had fun music, fun little silly music as the soundtrack. And so I was like, is this supposed to be a horror movie or a comedy movie? I don't understand. I'm so confused.
So
Eric, you're great. Yeah.
I have a good co-host. She thinks of the stuff I don't. I'm looking into, the authenticity of this movie. How a leprechaun could kill someone with a pogo stick. And my wonderful co-host, she's like, why didn't they power wash the fucking house? You know what I mean? That's what we bring to the show. So he pogos on the guy's chest enough
I think it was very creative. It was very creative. Okay, so all right. I'll switch my thinking. I think the use of toys.
Be truthful.
I think the use of toys as killing weapons of destruction is very creative and thoughtful because I don't know how many people would have thought of using a pogo stick as a killing machine.
She forced that out. It was so hard. So kills the shop owner. Makes sure to shine his shoes after he's done because we got to have another, Irish stereotype because leprechauns are boot makers. So then,
okay. Because I have a question there. I was like, why does the leprechaun clean shoes?
They're boot makers. So then, what happens? Oh, we're still following the leprechaun because Tori and Nathan are busy eating at a Greasy Spoon diner, and she's complaining about how she wants an Evian water and this and that. And he's just happy having his fucking meatloaf and mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? And she doesn't. This whole conversation where he's like, I don't want to eat that because that's dead cow. And he grabs her shoe and he said, that's what your shoe's made out of type of thing. So it's just making her more unlikable. But I am starting to dig Nathan, how he won't put up with her bullshit a little bit. So he's a likable character, which is needed because, we're going to follow Alex a lot by the end of the movie.
So they're at the diner eating and she goes through that whole thing. And then she says, are you sure you told them where we're at or something like that? And he says, yeah, they're just kids. They're probably at a comic book store or something, whatever he said. And I was like, Ozzy isn't a kid. He's like almost 40.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's almost 40 years old to me. But again, this is the 1990s. People looked older.
Yeah. And then you're talking about how it ruined cars for you. Now the leprechaun gets pulled over for speeding because he has now grabbed one of these. I don't know how you would actually say a motorized, mini car. You know, when you're a kid, you can get behind the wheel of a car and battery powered stuff like that. And you can drive. It's basically to drive down the sidewalk and back type of thing.
It was like a child's life size car.
Yeah, it was life size for Warwick Davis because he's only like 3'2", but he's driving down the highway again. He's got, well, you explained it. His magic isn't all there yet because he's only got one coin. And the cop, stereotypical cop, he's there at the speed trap, eating a fucking donut, drinking coffee, and he pulls the leprechaun over for speeding. And it's just this whole, oh my god, it's this very, very long scene of him insulting the leprechaun for being ugly. And the leprechaun gets mad. He says it's not nice to insult the leprechaun. Scares the
children, because he thought it was a kid, right?
That's right. He did think it was a kid. He's like, "Aren't you a little young to be out here this late?" He's like, "I'm 4,000 years old," or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, 600.
Yeah, 600. Potato. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So he gets pulled over for speeding. There's this whole, oh god, this long ass scene where he's chasing the cop, hiding behind trees in the forest, and then just kind of appears out of nowhere. He leaps off one of the branches, I guess, and just breaks his neck. And then that's it.
Before that, I thought, the cop threw his only weapon because the leprechaun had already taken the gun and tossed it or something.
Yeah, he took the gun and he just threw it to the side.
Right. And then so now they're playing hide and seek in the woods, and the cop takes his baton and throws it. And I was like, that's the only weapon you have left. Why would you throw it aimlessly? And then he's like,
yeah,
got rid of him. And that was that. I also found that like that whole scene of him sitting under the tree, taking deep breaths and going, oh boy, that was a little long. All right.
Well, here's the thing. So he realizes this isn't a kid now, you know what I mean? Because he got clawed in the face and stuff like that. There's also this magic stuff. If you're alone in the woods and you throw your only weapon away and the thing's not dead, why are you taking a break under the tree? Why don't you just try to get back to your car? So
right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it didn't seem like, and I mean, in reality, the guy could have run faster than him because I kept wondering, I was like, how is it that this leprechaun is catching up to him? Because he's littler. But then later we realized he had like the Star Trek power where you can like
he beamed himself up behind trees.
He beamed himself up, or yeah. He'd beam himself into different places. Okay, what did I? Oh, right. Oh, again, okay, this is where I wrote, what I find amazing is that the leprechaun can track down people, but he can't find his own gold. So I guess that was, okay, so I jumped ahead a little bit.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Because again, this movie is full of so much padding. It's not even 90 minutes long. It's like an hour and 21 minutes, which probably makes it.
Why did it take me 4 hours to watch it then?
I'm serious. It's an hour and 21 minutes. And you have these padded out scenes like them eating meatloaf, you know what I mean, in the diner. Or
right.
Or we have this long ass scene of just the leprechaun doing shtick in the house. Eventually he just goes in the house looking for his gold. You got to throw in a Lucky Charms joke. He eats it, spits it out because it's gross. But It's Lucky Clovers. I did find this. It's Lucky Clovers because they did get permission by Lucky Charms to actually have a box of Lucky Charms in it. And then Lucky Charms, saw the film, like the dailies or whatever. And they're like, nope, we don't want to be associated. So that's why they changed it to Lucky Clovers. But it's just a leprechaun doing his shtick. He eats the cereal, spits it out because it tastes like shit. He sees himself in a mirror and gets scared. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. And it's all padding.
Again, I was wondering, there's an awful lot of food in that house for people that just arrived earlier that day.
Yeah, it's all that's why the leprechaun didn't like it. The Lucky Clovers were 10 years old. You know what I mean?
I mean, then why didn't the rats eat it? just asking. He throws the and then breaks the cop's neck and then returns to search for the gold, and then he gets distracted by shining everyone's shoes. So that's where I was like, I don't understand. Are you I don't know. Maybe they should have explained that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I couldn't understand. I was like, obviously he's OCD about shoes, but why?
So now the leprechaun's hiding, and they
Thank you,
tried.
Johnny. Thank you, Johnny.
We'll put that up, John. Forget suspending disbelief. Melissa is spot on about everything in this so-called film. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. So the leprechaun is now in hiding, doing something. I don't know, shining shoes. And they try their best to make this scary scene because we hear the bell ringing from the tricycle. And it's Ozzy. He shows up, one of them fake scares. Oh, look what I found type of thing. So him and Ozzy and Nathan, or not Nathan, and Alex are sitting down having this awful conversation. Like, can you kill a leprechaun? Blah, blah, blah. And Alex, one thing I really hate about Alex, he's probably 10, but he's this dumbass kid that like tries to act like he's 21. Like, there's that scene when they're painting the house. He's like, oh, I sure could go for a beer right now. You know what I mean? The fucker is 10 years old, and Ozzy has to chastise him. Right. And now he's talking about, oh, you can kill anything. Me, get a 357 Magnum. He's just trying to act tough, and I just hate him. So the bell starts ringing by magic.
Well, there sometimes I wonder. I thought to myself, everyone needs an Alex, like. but then probably because again, Rachel. I'm sorry. What's her name?
Tori
is. Tori is getting really annoyed with this kid, and like, I'm sorry, you've only known this child not even for a day, and you're already reprimanding him. I mean, come on. So I thought, maybe I would become a little like that, get a little annoyed with this little smart ass know-it-all kid. But he was the perfect companion for Ozzy.
Yeah, he was. I will say this, as much as I hate the actor, him and Mark Holton did work very well together. So the bell starts ringing by magic because the bell's sitting on a table between the two kids, I guess we'll say. And Nathan knows something's up. So Nathan goes outside and he's attacked. He actually gets caught in a bear trap.
Well, because they found the bicycle bell. It's sitting there. But now they're hearing in the distance a bicycle bell. So they're like, wait a second. If we have the bicycle bell here, what's making the noise out there? So isn't that like he goes searching for the source?
That's right. And he gets caught in a bear trap. And then the leprechaun shows up, happens to have a hatchet on hand. Going to cut off Nathan's leg. And Nathan is just lucky, shoots him with the shotgun. They get Nathan into the truck. Truck won't start because there was like this bit earlier, with the distributor cap, and Alec is the only one. The 10-year-old knows how to fix trucks, not the two men in their 30s. So he has to go out, and we all know the fucking leprechaun's in there. And it's this really.
I
didn't. You didn't think the leprechaun was gonna just say peekaboo literally when he opened up the trunk?
I know. I don't think I didn't think that he was going to be in there when they lifted the hood. I thought that while the kid was like half in the hood, that he was closing on him. I was like, are we going to get to the horror?
No, because we still don't get to the horror yet, Melissa. We still don't. He gets on the hood. He punches through, bites Ozzy on the ear. Tori puts on the cigarette lighter. I don't even know if they have cigarette lighters in cars anymore. She push.
They don't. I mean, they're the thing is still there. It's just the part that makes it a cigarette lighter.
Oh, for like vapes and stuff like that. Because I know we have like a charge port in our car, but like there's no cigarette lighters. Like, you push the thing in and you pull it out. She burns the leprechaun on his nose. And then the leprechaun
Those were the days. I remember being a kid in the back seat watching my mom.
Yep.
Lighting a cigarette.
Yeah, my mom and dad were the same. They were the same way.
Yep.
And then, oh Lord, this is where the leprechaun gets burnt by the cigarette lighter, and he goes back into the barn, Melissa, and he makes himself a battering ram.
I called it a killing machine. I said the leprechaun traps everyone in the truck, then runs off to grab the killing machine he made he made out of the toy car and random farm parts.
Yeah, because he does have he has the pitchfork duct taped to the front of it. He's got one of these old timey horns, the Marx Brothers would have, that type of.
Yeah.
He does that, and he does another fucking limerick. Hits them. The car flips over. They get into.
And that's why I wrote, really? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, this is like a 1993. This movie came in 93, so I think this is like a Ford or something like that, heavy duty truck. And you have literally a leprechaun. Warwick Davis is like 3'2", maybe 3'5", in that little kitty car. Right. He got enough fucking speed with a pitchfork to knock that thing on its side, 3 or 4 times.
Right. Plus, you got to think of the height of where
he would have gone under the fucking truck.
The killing machine is hitting the truck. Yeah. It would have seemed like the truck. I thought he was going to stab people with again. Where's the horror? I thought he was going to stab people zombie style with the freaking pitchfork. I don't know why my light is doing this thing. We're talking about leprechauns, and over in this corner, since I've been sitting here, there's been weird noises, and my light keeps flickering. I don't know what's happening over here.
Yeah, it's still March, so you never know. He might be right there behind you. You are in the middle of nowhere.
Thanks.
He makes a battering ram. They flip. Then they all run into the house, and this is where the leprechaun has his hand slammed in the door, and it's ripped off. And I'll give it this. They have a little creepy effect. Whoa. There goes your light.
What is happening?
Your light just went out. You're right.
I know.
Oh, my.
I don't know what's happening.
Wow.
Come on. This is the weirdest thing.
Warwick Davis knows we're trash talking him is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it shows my light is plugged in. The little light is. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now?
Thanks, John. John says, well, there's the horror, because your light just went off.
Yes. Okay, I'm walking away to get another light.
Oh, my goodness. Like I said earlier in the very beginning of this episode, when Melissa had a headache last week and I was caught in a blizzard, this is God's way of telling us not to talk about this movie. And now he's turning off your lights and everything.
Okay. Hopefully.
Hey, nobody breathe. Don't do anything towards the light.
I mean, the plug is working.
Maybe the bulb just burnt out.
Oh. Huh. Maybe. Okay. Well, now I have a desk lamp.
Hey, it works.
Illuminating me. Okay. All right. Sorry. Profile time. All right. Where are my notes?
Because we are very professional here on this show.
Okay.
So as you can
right. The hand gets chopped off.
Yeah, hand gets chopped off. Ozzy goes to call the cops. And it's this whole stick, Ozzy's known around town. You know what I mean? He calls the cops. He says, send the Army, Navy, Marines. A leprechaun is attacking. And you have the cop giggling offline. He's like, oh, Ozzy called, he said it's a leprechaun. What was last week? UFOs or something like that. And you have the old sheriff. He's like, oh, that's Ozzy. He's harmless type of thing. So at least that explains why there's no cops until the end of the fucking movie. So we have that. So at least we have that little bit of reality here. And let's see what I have. Calls the cops. The leprechaun gets shot, pretends to be dead. And it's just, this is where Tori finds out about the gold, gives it to the leprechaun. And then the leprechaun is counting out his coins. He only has 99. He's looking for his last gold coin.
This is where I thought the gore was going to happen.
And
let's get to some gore.
Melissa is new to the horror genre. She's doing better with gore because we started with something like The Substance and Train to Busan. She's ready for the blood and guts. And instead, we get the leprechaun jumping out of the fridge, getting his hand caught on the stove burner, and riding a skateboard while fucking Nathan tries to put buckshot into him.
Well, here's the note I wrote. What makes Nathan think it's dead with one shot when earlier he didn't die after 6.
Good point.
Right? He's like, oh, he's dead now.
Yeah. Well, maybe 7 should do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hiding in the cabinets. He comes down the chimney, makes a Santa Claus joke, gets shot with the shotgun, and then he's on a skateboard, and it's literally Nathan and Tori in the hallway, and he's just going back and forth, different goofy poses on the skateboard. Like he literally has become fucking Bugs Bunny now. He really has.
That was pretty. I was like, okay, that's funny.
This was your Troll 2 corn cob moment, was it?
Right. It reminded me of being at the fair, but no, you're right. It's more the Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, it's Bugs Bunny Elmer Fudd is what it is to me. Yeah. And this, let's see here. After that, I don't know how they got rid of the Leprechaun. He probably shot him the 11th time or something like that. And Ozzy reveals that he has the last gold coin in his stomach. And then Tori's like, we can't let Ozzy sacrifice himself. How do we kill it? And then Ozzy mentions,
just let him poop it out. Just give him.
Well, they don't have the time. Okay, sometimes it takes like up to 10 hours to digest a meal. You know.
Well, they had all of that cereal in there. You're telling me they didn't have any laxative? Like, come on.
Well, you know what? You eat all that rancid food, it could help.
Right.
Ozzy mentions Mr. O'Grady, and he's at the hospital. They decide to go to the hospital, and this is where Melissa is really shaking her head because this is the whole shoe shining thing. Now, I thought this was smart, context-wise. They need to keep the Leprechaun away from them, so they go to the closets and they get all of Mr. and Mrs. O'Grady's shoes, and they start throwing them into the fields. And like you said, OCD-wise, the Leprechauns are bootmakers. He has to shine every fucking shoe. And this is where you kind of see it in Warwick Davis's face. Like he's like, I used to be in Star Wars. I was Willow. You know what I mean? And now I'm shining shoes in the middle of fucking North Dakota. And he's just trying his best to make the scene happen. Lori gets in the pickup truck. Lori drives away. And it's more Looney Tunes because now the Leprechaun magically appears behind her wearing roller skates.
Yes, I was like, where did he have time? It takes me a while to put some roller skates on. Back when I used to roller skate, and I was just like, all of a sudden he's got roller skates. Where did he find them?
Yeah.
I mean, his hands aren't really made to tie shoelaces.
Yeah. And he's very lucky. Like, were they magic roller skates? Because Mr. and Mrs. O'Grady didn't seem to have children, so it's not like they have a child's size of roller skates just happen to be in their closet. You know what I mean? So
it was out there with the random farm parts. See, that's the thing about old farms. You never know what you're going to find.
That's true.
Unless you like normal people, they clean the house out. Because when I moved into this house, I was like, where's all the old stuff? Like, how come there's not a whole bunch of old shit in the attic? Mm-hmm. Well, because whoever lived here, in the duration of 213 years, someone cleaned the house. Anyway.
So we get more padding, and we literally get a Looney Tunes scene. She turns the corner. He can't stop the roller skates, even though the fucker is magical.
Oh my god!
And he goes through the fence, and it's literally like Wile E. Coyote.
I laughed at that scene too.
Okay.
That was pretty funny.
Shout out to my friend, the Retro Redbeard Reviews. I made him watch this once, like years and years ago, and he's kind of like an old curmudgeon when it comes to like dumbass movies like this. Even he laughed at the outline of Warwick Davis in the fence.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That must have taken up half the budget. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So here's where again, more padding. Did you notice that this movie, this director really liked to focus on the brand of shoes that people were wearing? Because we always have close-ups on Tori's wearing Reebok, and then
No, she's wearing LA gear.
Okay, she was wearing LA gear. Ozzy's wearing the Reeboks because we see him like the camera's like right on his shoes, and then Nathan I think is wearing like Air Jordans or something like that. But there's something about the shoes in this because it's literally like a good 10-15 seconds of just watching her walk in the hospital. Doesn't check on Dad. You know what I mean? She makes sure not to check on Dad. She sneaks into Mr. O'Grady's room and she's talking to Mr. O'Grady. Oh, there's only one way to kill a leprechaun, but I'm not going to tell you.
Wait a
Okay,
second.
please.
She was at a rest home, which was
Oh, it
called
was a rest. Okay.
yeah, which I think it was called Chill Acres or something like that. She couldn't check on Dad. Well,
That's
one,
true.
he wasn't there, but two, the actor already walked off the movie.
Good point. Good point.
So, but yeah, I did notice how much he focused on the shoes. I
Yeah.
know that's how come I knew she was wearing LA gear. The director was either a big sports fan or something, because you got the 49er colors, you
Mhm.
had the shoes, the LA gear. I mean, maybe he was looking for some sort of what do you call it, endorsement,
Yeah.
advertising budget
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yeah. So
Um,
we got the spiel where she thinks she's talking to Mr. O'Grady. There's only one way to kill a leprechaun, but I'm not going to tell you.
which, of course, I'm sorry, I knew right away as soon as she walked in the room that's not Mr. O'Grady.
Right, because Mr. O'Grady is okay. Mr. O'Grady is probably an average-sized man. When she goes in there, this person that she's talking to, the head is right where the backrest is. Okay,
Exactly.
it's not an average-sized person talking to her. He turns around. It's the leprechaun's big surprise. You know what I mean? And then we get we get more sped up time where he's literally chasing her in a fucking wheelchair. Like, this isn't Looney Tunes. This isn't funny. This part I hate as much as much dumb fun as I do sometimes have with this. I'm like, Warwick Davis, you were in Star Wars. You were an Ewok at 11 years old. You were Willow. You were the star of your own George Lucas produced, Ron Howard directed fantasy film, and now you're chasing an unknown Jennifer Aniston in a wheelchair. And
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Tori ends up in the elevator, and that's when we see Mr. O'Grady pop. How the fuck did Mr. O'Grady get up there?
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly. Like all of these things is kind of reminiscent of Mike Myers and a Halloween, when he kills people, but then suddenly they magically appear someplace else, but this isn't Mike Myers. This is a person who's much smaller than Mike Myers. Like, and I mean, is it his magic that's making them reappear in different places, or is he actually taking the time or does he have an assistant? Does he have other little smaller leprechauns?
The rest of the Lollipop Guild are helping him put this Mr. O'Grady up in the top of the elevator. Now, why didn't he just kill him? Because obviously he's been attacked. Why didn't he just kill him like he killed the shop owner and the cop and stuff like that? And just shove him in the closet of the room or something like that. So either Mr. O'Grady got away. Mr. O'Grady is a big dude. You could tell he was in poor health before he had the stroke. He had a stroke 10 years ago. He's been living in a rest home for 10 years. There's no way he got up there himself.
Well, let's see. I guess the leprechaun dragged him and he pushed him down the elevator shaft.
All right. I'll let that slide. So,
but you know what, though? Here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
That building didn't look more than one story. Why is there an elevator?
Again, I don't think the screenwriter, or maybe that's just what was available. Maybe they had this whole big, script. They're gonna go up and down the elevator type of thing, and then they realize, oh, well, we just had another actor quit, so we got to deal with what we got, type of thing. So, right. Mr. O'Grady he's hanging out of the ceiling, and he says that the only way to kill the leprechaun is a 4-leaf clover, freshly plucked from the clover patch that just happens to be in front of Mr. O'Grady's house, in the middle of fucking nowhere, North Dakota, and it has to touch his body. So Tori leaves Mr. O'Grady just hanging out. She leaves him, doesn't tell anybody. And I think somehow the cops were called. Oh, I know what it was. The sheriff was checking in on the guy that was killed in the forest. Leprechaun was, using his voice to pretend, he was him. Tori ends up, as she's running, she sees the cop car in the distance. That's right. She sees the flashing lights. She goes in there. Leprechaun attacks her, and there's a really bad bit of her stabbing him in the eye with the nightstick, and he's got to rip
Okay,
the cop's eye. There's your
that was
gore.
gross.
There's your
This was the gross part.
yeah.
I kind of was like,
You've been waiting an hour and maybe 10 minutes for some gore. Here's your gore, and it's something like that.
I was waiting for Ozzy to get his stomach ripped open by a pitchfork. That's what I was waiting for this whole movie.
Yeah. So Nathan just happens to be there. Remember, he's only got one leg because he was caught in the bear trap. He just happens to be there. Thanks, Pap. Pap's having fun with our conversation. So we have this long scene of them looking for clovers. Yes. And Tori is frustrated. There's no such thing, blah, blah, blah. And then Ozzy, the childlike, innocent Ozzy.
You have to believe.
Thank you. You just got to believe. You just got to. That type of thing. And while they're doing that, you got Alex. He's got the bear trap, trying to psych himself out. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That usual bullshit. And he's setting a trap to get the leprechaun. And what happens is Tori finds the 4-leaf clover.
Mm-hmm.
The one 4-leaf clover. We have our 1993 magical CGI around the clover. And as they're doing that, they hear Alex screaming because the leprechaun is doing what we all want done to Alex, getting ready to throw his face in the bear trap. He's trying to save us from Alex's acting. And this is okay. I'm interested in your favorite scene. We'll wait till we're done. This is my favorite scene because Ozzy isn't the simpleton anymore. He has his hero moment. You know what I mean? I like when he is now, I hate to say he's now an adult. He rips the door off the hinge and he yells at the leprechaun. He's like, "You son of a bitch, the coin is in me," type of thing. The leprechaun says, "I'm going to rip it out of your belly." So I like Ozzy's hero moment.
Yeah.
And that'll be my favorite scene. And then you get a little bit more gore because the leprechaun takes the buckle off one of his shoe and he's slicing Ozzy's face open, trying to get
waiting for him to slice open his belly.
Yeah. Well, his proportions are off. His proportions are off. You know what I mean?
I was like, it's in his either there's only two ways to get it: let him poop it out or cut it out.
and the thing is, Ozzy was a pretty round guy. It's not like you could miss his belly either. You know what I mean? So Ozzy's getting chopped up, and then Alex has to show up. He's got the 4-leaf clover, puts a piece of bubble gum in it, says his awful 1980s action hero line.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
And he sounds so fucking stupid. But I will say this. I told you about the whole Lucky Charms situation earlier in the movie. They put that line in the movie as a fuck you to Lucky Charms for taking out the permission to have
That's funny.
The box in its own. I like that it was in there. It's just I hated that Alex said it. Shoots the 4-leaf clover into the throat of the leprechaun. And the leprechaun starts this really cool melting effect. You finally get a little bit more gore in this horror movie that's not a horror movie, Melissa.
A little melting, sort of like a Wizard of Oz. Back to my...
There you go. He's melting, and then he falls down the well, and then, they all, Ozzy, you saved the day, the whole usual spiel like that. The leprechaun's body comes up, and it's this really bad hand puppet that yells, "I want me gold." And I will not lie, I laughed at this. Nathan runs up, hits the puppet in the face with the shotgun. You do hear the leprechaun go, "Ugh," and fall down. You hear it splash. He gets all of his gas cans from the back of his truck, blows up the well, and then it quickly cuts to the next day. You know what I mean? And that's when the police start to show up, right? When everything has been blown to hell. The movie is over. Melissa turns off her TV, never wants to watch this film again. And that is the end.
It started jumping to Leprechaun 2, and I was like, nope.
Oh, this is one of the better ones, too. That's the thing. This is one of the better ones, too.
I thought they would have, of course, I thought they would have been showing them closing up the hole, cementing it over or putting rocks in there or something. But, I guess they needed room for part 2.
Yeah, there are... I'm trying to think. 8 of these movies, I think.
Too many.
Okay.
I mean, so I haven't seen any of the other ones. So in number 2, 3, 4, is he like all burnt up and melted?
Okay. All right. It's kind of like for me trying to explain the Halloween timeline with you because it's all fucking bug nuts. So
Okay.
there's part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's all Warwick Davis, but it's all a different leprechaun. Okay. So in part 2, this leprechaun is trying to find a bride. So he kidnaps a blonde. The boyfriend has to save her. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
The third one, the leprechaun ends up going to Las Vegas because his gold coin is stolen and used to bet money type of thing. And then there's a side character who gets attacked by the leprechaun. Their blood mixes, so he starts to become a leprechaun as well. And it's nothing about him. It's nothing but him just eating potatoes for like 90 fucking minutes. The fourth one I put in our coming soon just because I was going to let you choose, but we already just decided to do the first. And the fourth one, he goes into fucking outer space. There's lightsabers and space marines because this leprechaun lives on another planet and kidnaps a princess and wants to rule the galaxy. There's a giant, there's a weird robotic mad scientist. No, you're laughing. It's true. Mad scientist who turns into this gigantic spider scorpion creature. It's stupid. The fifth one, he goes into the hood because it's literally Leprechaun in the hood, and he fights Ice-T as a record producer with a magical flute. The second one, the sixth one, oh god,
okay,
it's literally Back to the Hood, so it's just the same fucking movie.
Well, no, I was reading what Johnny wrote. He said the horror of this movie is that you can't get the minutes back that you lost watching the movie.
Yep.
Yep. Which brings me to what my favorite scene was.
Yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea of the franchise. It's a little person looking for gold, and you probably don't want to watch another one because, like I said, this is one of the better of the 8 films.
Okay.
So, all right. Let's let you get this off your chest, Melissa. If there is a favorite scene in your rating, please let us know.
The end. The end was my favorite scene.
as in the end credits, yeah. I think that's what I picked when you, me, and Neil discussed The Room. Was the end credits.
Before that, what did I write? Oh, before the end arrived, I wrote the shoe throwing scene was my favorite scene.
Okay.
It's stupid.
It's my favorite scene because it's stupid. I love it.
And my rating, 1 box of shoes.
Thanks, Pap. He says, even though we're talking trash, it makes for a great review. And he just loved your face when you said the end. So Melissa gives it 1 box of shoes. I'm gonna be nice because it is a fucking stupid movie. I do like it better than Troll 2, which I gave a 1. I told you my favorite scene was when Ozzy saves the day. I'm giving it 2 buckled shoes out of 5. I've seen a lot worse, but man, watching it this time again, this is kind of like for me for Troll 2. It's better to watch with someone in the room with you, so you can at least have more fun, poking fun at it. How long now between tonight and whenever? How long is it going to be before you ever talk to Shelly again for making you watch this?
I don't know. It's going to be.
Or at least it's going to be a long time before you take another one of his requests, right?
Yes, for sure.
So it will be a while before we talk Dr. Giggles on Watch What Now. That's for sure. Yeah. The less you know, the better. It's Larry Drake as a killer doctor. Trust me.
Okay.
So what do we have here? Final thoughts on Leprechaun. I had a blast at least discussing it. I got a question. How in the world can you hate this, but you love Troll 2? You gave Troll 2 a 4. That still boggles my mind.
Because I don't know. Because the Troll one, maybe I was new.
Okay.
I thought, the effort they did in making a film. I like I like in Troll 2, I like the corn cob scene.
Yeah.
You know, that did it for me. This one also was just like, it gave me a headache and I just wanted it to end.
Well, and like I said when we were texting, you know, literally sometimes we for people who aren't new or who are new to the show, lots of times Melissa will give me a running commentary. I literally only got one text from her and it said this movie is giving me a headache, and I told her that's going to be on the poster of Leprechaun.
Because I had such a headache, I couldn't even, like, the thought of texting was just whatever. So, do you want to know what my choice is?
Yes. Now this is gonna be interesting because this is usually, knock on wood, we were really good at having a schedule, and then Mother Nature and just feeling sick and stuff threw us off that schedule. If this is a bi-weekly podcast, that'll be around when I just had my oral surgery with my teeth getting pulled out, but that happens on a Thursday. I should be good by Sunday. If not, that following Sunday, you're at Exotica. So I'm going to tell people to just stay. We're going to plan for 2 weeks. I'm going to plan on still doing it with my wisdom teeth being pulled out because I think I'll be okay to talk.
Okay.
But everybody that's listening, pay attention to the social media, you know, the Facebook and the Instagram. Melissa and I are doing our best to keep you guys informed. But planning for in 2 weeks, Melissa, since it's been forever since you had a choice, what is the next movie we're going to discuss on Watch What Now for episode 15?
Well, you're going to be shocked.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I was just reading the last message. Get your rest. Yes, we always say health is health before podcast.
Yes.
Is our little saying to each other. Okay. So this one, I'm going to go balls deep.
Uh-oh.
Jumping in. Trilogy.
Oh, wow. The Trilogy of Terror. This is one that we brought. Oh my God. I don't know if we discussed it when we did our first interview. with each other, because we were asking about talking about horror and stuff like that. Wow. That's a big deal. If you know Melissa's history with the Trilogy of Terror, it's one of the ones that scared the crap out of her as a kid. We'll see if it still works nowadays. I know there's a couple of my friends on Twitter that are around our age that are still freaked out by it. So she's ripping the Band-Aid off. We're going to go some Karen Black, some scary Zuni fetish. You're keeping on the little person thing. That's what it is. Thanks to Warwick Davis.
Probably.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So he subliminally put, because I've been thinking about it, and I was just like,
Pap will be here right there. Pap says Trilogy of Terror freaks me out. So
right. So I'm going to see. I want to. My goal is to find out if I can watch this movie with a different set of eyes and find something find something else in it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. So, I might have to have someone watch it with me, probably early in the morning or something like that, so that I can go to but I'm not going to talk about all the different scenarios and when, because that fucking little doll, when it opens the door, like I saw it when I was 3 years old, and I still, the little doll face, and he opens the door, like I'm gonna try not to think about that one too much.
I can't wait. It'll be fun. So tentatively in 2 weeks, it'll be the Trilogy of Terror, episode 15 of Watch What Now. I have nothing else to promote. I'm just sitting here enjoying doing this show with you, Melissa. Let's Exotica one more time is the second weekend of April. You'll be there for 3 days. You'll be there with Dana Lauren, and bring your chocolate cookies if you know, you know. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be selling some really here. Let me just grab one photo really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let
me see if I can pull up Patrick's information.
So I'm selling a few of these, not that many. They're going to be, for special collectors who don't mind spending a little bit more. But, in 2016, I did that body painting thing where I was a robot alien. And
I've always loved that. That one's really neat.
Yeah. The photographer, is Neil Preston. Remember from Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
He took this picture.
Yeah.
I mean, and then but I only have one of each of these. So, like I said, they're going to be for the special collector. I've got this one.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to show people. Oh, and this one. I'm excited to.
How long did that take? The body paint, like how many hours did it take to paint you up like that?
6.
6 hours?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I love it. And it looks like the calendar is April 10th, 11th, and 12th. You will be in Chicago. Doing signings and stuff. And then your first one in 30 years. I know you got the butterflies, but the more you and I have been talking, it seems like you're getting less nervous and more excited. So I'm very happy for you.
So Pap Master, yes, these are definitely things that you can frame and hang on your wall.
Yeah.
For sure. So I think one of them, Neil signed one of them, and like I said, it would be for the very special. And I think he sent me some stuff in a tube also. There's probably bigger sizes than these. So these aren't going to be the price as the typical 8x10 or anything like that. But the other stuff that I'm going to be selling there, I have puzzles. I do have some puzzles that were made up from me, body painted.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So even if say someone is interested in one of these, then it's too late. They're already gone. There will be a puzzle. So the puzzle is made from this pose here.
Okay.
So, but the background looks different. And yeah, the puzzles will be more affordable. Well, I think I've priced everything to be affordable, but the person who has me in his booth, Patrick, for just talking, he's like, well, you got to remember, you don't want to price yourself out. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm bringing like one of a kind stuff that like, if you know, like if you know who Neil Preston is,
I mean, it's not just, I hate to say it, it's not just the stereotypical adult film 8x10. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which there will be those as well.
right. But we got to give Neil his due. He's been being, we've had him on the show twice. He's been doing this since the 70s, I think it was.
Yeah. So. I mean, he's the fifth, as Brian May of Queen said, Neil was the 5th member of Queen.
Yeah.
So it'll be, so I'm looking forward. I hope people show up.
They will.
And I have other all the images that are being sold are ones that I chose myself. So there's some that maybe like 30 years ago I would have been like, ugh, I don't want anybody to see those. But looking at them through a new set of eyes, I'm just like, there'll be some military themed stuff. There's some glamour stuff. There's vivid stuff. So it'll be fun, I hope.
It will. You'll be fine.
Art is priceless.
That's
yes,
right.
It is. That is true. Art is priceless. The other thing I started telling you before we went on the air.
Yeah, please.
Was I'm always saying adopt, don't shop. Well, I decided to put my money where my mouth is. Now, I've already adopted.
Right.
but I always say foster and adopt.
Mm-hmm.
So I filled out some applications to be a doggy foster, because I don't, in California they had this huge. I mean, they already have a problem as it is in California.
Right.
The shelters are kill shelters. They're high kill shelters, and they kill the dogs to make space for other dogs coming in. So sometimes dogs only, they're in the there for like 2 days, and they're like, oh, we need to make space for.
Jeez.
Yeah. And anyway, so there was a woman who had like 238 cats and dogs,
Mm-hmm.
that they said were in unsanitary conditions. And of course, animal control went in, seized all the dogs and cats, and now all those dogs and cats are going to go into the shelter. So that means the dogs that were already in the shelter are now going to be killed to make room for the 238 that are coming in.
Jesus.
So so I'm kind of nervous,
right?
Because I'm doing this by myself. I've got my 2 dogs, and I think they're sending me a puppy. I'm nervous and excited.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, it's gonna be so difficult because you're gonna get attached to the dog, and then you have to let it go. And I'm like, no, I'm excited because I want to, the whole purpose would be to like show the dog off, take the dog wherever, let people meet the dog. I'll take pictures. But I've never had a puppy before. I didn't choose to have a puppy, and she's going to be she's some sort of shepherd. I'll post it all online.
Yeah.
But she's as cute as can be now. She's like 11 weeks old, little fluffy thing, but she's going to grow up to be probably as big as Teddy. She's
good Lord.
Dog. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a good thing. That's why we always make sure to end it with Melissa's adopt, don't shop, but also adopt, don't shop, as well as foster.
As foster. Yeah. I mean, so, foster doesn't have to be out of your own pocket. Like they asked me, what help we need. And so there's medical. Mm-hmm. Some organizations will pay for their food and their medical.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And all their advertisement. The only requirement to be a foster, obviously, to, take good care of the dog. And sometimes they might need training. Like I'm assuming with this puppy, I'm going to have to train her a little bit. But you need to go to adoption events, which here in Vermont, I don't think they really have any adoption events. Mm-hmm. So they'll be mostly like online. But, in California, in other states, there's tons of adoption events. Like, you just on a weekend day, on a Saturday, you go to like a Pet Smart adoption event or something and show off the dog that you're fostering. But yeah, and then there's also foster fails, where people like attempt to just foster and then they end up falling in love and then keeping the dog. That's called a foster fail. Mm-hmm. But I don't intend on foster failing. I don't have I don't think I have the long-term resources for that. And plus my friend who's going to eventually show up and come live here, I don't think they're bringing their own dogs. So there's already going to be 3 dogs here.
Oh, good Lord.
Teddy and Panda. And then the other dog that's going to be showing up, my friend's dog in the summer, is Jeannie. And then the foster dog, her name is Hilly. Which, oh my God!
Did you just now, Melissa, Hill and Hilly? Did you just now put that together?
It just now.
Good Lord!
When I said it, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Only here on Watch What Now you have things like. So this was fun. Regardless that that Shelly ruined your day, made you watch this. I want to say thanks to Shelly for giving us a very fun conversation. I always have a blast, no matter the quality of the film. I always have a fun time. Like I said, in 2 weeks, I want you guys to plan on being here. I'll be missing 2 teeth, but that's okay because the Zuni fetish doll makes up for that. We will be watching and we will be discussing the Trilogy of Terror. And then that following weekend, if you are able to go to Chicago, it's online, the Chicago Exotica Expo. Melissa will be there meeting fans, selling merch. First one in 30 years. It's a big deal. Very
Yeah.
proud of you getting out of your bubble and doing it. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
Yep, it'll go well. And then the following week, we'll figure out what we're watching for episode 16. But until then, I am Eric. That is Melissa.
Bye.
Adopt, don't shop, and foster.
And foster. Right.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.